It was 2,965 days old. That was how long the duration between Denver's last win over Kansas City and today. Well, the streak comes to a close, and for the first time in his career, Patrick Mahomes suffers a loss at the hands of the Denver Broncos. Kansas City turned it over 6 times in this game. 3 of those turnovers to Mahomes' name. No way to win when you're playing football like that. 24-9, no contest. It's the Broncos over the Chiefs. Back in studio with Ryan Wilson, Joe Musso here to speak on a bit of history, really, because that's what this is. Broncos and Chiefs get together. We know how it ends. Not in this instance. For the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, it's a loss to the Broncos. I mean, it didn't look like that Chiefs loss where they come in unengaged and it's lazy football. It just looked like messy football. What did you make of it? Messy is the exact right word. And this defense, Steve Spagnuolo has had this defense playing at an extremely high level. They have not given up more than 21 points all season. The only team to do so. And if I told you Russ Wilson and Sean Payton are going to come in and drop 24, you'd say, okay, what went wrong? And a lot went wrong. And here are the starting field positions after the turnovers that the Broncos enjoyed. The KC 39, midfield. The KC 48. The KC 10. The KC 20. That makes football incredibly easy when you're not being asked to drive 70, 85 yards down the field. So short field, Russ didn't do a whole lot. 12 of 19 for 114. Did have the 3 touchdowns. But I think the defense being opportunistic, the mistakes that you talked about with what the Chiefs were doing offensively did not look like themselves. We know that we saw the graphic when Travis Kelce doesn't have his girlfriend in attendance. He tends to play not quite as well. So that's something he needs to figure out. But as a whole, it's not the performance you want. The good news is you play in a terrible division, so you're still in first place. The other good news, by the way, Joe, even after today's slate's a game with 1 left to go, you're still the first seed in the AFC. So you can fix this. I don't think we're worried long-term about the Chiefs, but this is the type of performance you don't want to put on tape, especially at this point, the midway point of the season. You saw it right there. The first occurrence in Patrick Mahomes' career, 3 turnovers or more and no touchdowns. Never happened before. He's also never lost to this team. 12-0 against the Broncos in his career. I mean, we can frame this a number of ways. He's only lost 3 games in that division in his career. It's been an unbroken road of green lights for Patrick Mahomes, but in this moment, a stop sign or a red light, however you want to put it. Boulevard of broken dreams, if you will. There you go. I like that one here. But in terms of the moment that this comes in, we were just starting to say, this is the Chiefs. It's #1 in the power rankings and then a gap in everybody else. Now we're given pause in a moment and shown that there is a route to victory against them. What was the fatal flaw here outside of the turnovers? What do you want to see them clean up in the weeks to come? I think it's the turnovers because we know who Andy Reid is. We know who Patrick Mahomes is, obviously. We know what they have in Travis Kelce. You know, one of the things perhaps is how about the young players make some critical catches? We saw Sky Moore drop one down the stretch. We saw Rasheed Rice, the rookie, drop one down the stretch. And those are all growing pains and things you learn from and potentially you can build on once we start playing January football. But I'll say this. Again, a terrible performance today by the Chiefs. I feel much better about Kansas City right now, Joe, than I do about the 49ers, a team who a month ago we were having the same conversation as we do with the Chiefs, potentially the 2 best teams in the NFL. One appears to be going in the wrong direction. The other just hit a road bump, and it happens to involve Russ Wilson and Sean Payton getting their biggest win of the season by far. Rushing yards here also an issue, just 62 on the game for the Chiefs. I think maybe rather than highlighting what Kansas City did ineffectively in this moment because we know it is a far better team than what we saw on film on Sunday, maybe we go to Denver here and we take a look at where they've been better these last few weeks. I mean, this was a franchise, a fan base ready to punt on the season, talking about the first overall pick. Maybe you win your way into football purgatory here. What does this win mean for the Broncos? I don't know if it means a whole lot. And that is a fair and acceptable answer as well. Probably the same one I would have given. But here's the thing. So you want to see some growth from Russ Wilson. Russell hasn't been terrible this season, but is he a franchise quarterback that's worth the contract he's currently being paid? Probably not. So they're going to have a top 10 pick somewhere in that area. If they're in range for a quarterback they love, do they go out and get that guy? Because this, you know, Russ Wilson came in with huge expectations that have not been met. He is not Sean Payton's guy, and we know that Sean Payton had a ton of success with Drew Brees.
Brees. Drew Brees was Sean's guy in New Orleans. So we have a lot of football to play in terms of the last 2.5 months or so. You have to be happy with this win. Perhaps you take something away from a defense that was opportunistic, who was really good last year but has struggled this year thus far. But I don't think there are any overarching storylines that you can take away in terms of feeling better about this offense, only because, again, 12 of 19 for Russ for 114 is that franchise quarterback numbers. He did take care of the football, but it felt like more the Chiefs being off, and not to take anything away from the Broncos, than it was the Denver coming in and just dominating.
You know what it means? It means something that it hasn't since 2015.
That's
it means
right.
a victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Today is yours, Broncos fans. Don't worry about picks. Don't worry about positioning. Worry about the fact that you just got a rival.
Take us through the process when you started feeling bad, how bad it was out there, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just started feeling bad last night, but I thought I bounced back pretty well in the morning. So just trying to do whatever I can to go out there and play my best football.
And you thought you wouldn't play today?
No.
How did you just assess that game overall from the offensive standpoint?
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. Obviously the turnovers, but just in the execution in general. I mean, they have to do a good job against us with their defense, but we got to execute at a high enough level, and we clearly haven't done it in the 2 games we played against them.
What about your hand? Did you cut your hand over? When that happened?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. From what it looks like I got stepped on. I didn't notice it until I started walking to the sideline after the 4th down play.
Patrick, you said you were feeling bad. Can you explain? Was it stomach stuff? Was it, what was it?
Yeah, just stomach stuff, you know. It is what it is.
Patrick, the one play, I think you ended up running into Donovan as you guys were around. If you go through that play, and I mean, in some ways, does that speak to a little bit how things went today?
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to make something happen. Obviously, we weren't in the right situation as far as the score and then the down and distance. Just trying to make something happen back there. Obviously, got caught turning too many times. I mean, their offensive line's trying to do whatever they can to give me time, and so just obviously just got to try to find a way to maneuver myself out of the pocket to get a throw downfield.
Can you just explain just the red zone troubles you've had against Denver this year?
Yeah, we weren't down there too much today. So, but the 2 times I think that we were, just got a couple third downs that were manageable and just didn't execute. That's what kind of was the theory of the entire day and the last time we played them.
The Chiefs had a 16-game winning streak over the Broncos. Did they do anything differently today? Change anything up? Or?
Played pretty much the same as they did last time they played us. So it worked once, and they ran it again, and it obviously worked again.
Did they give more attention to Kelsey at all, or similar zone coverage?
No, it was similar zone type coverages. They did a good job of not letting him have the easy ones, I guess, at the line of scrimmage. But at the end of the day, I mean, we just got to execute at a higher level. I got to be better, and the offense has to be better.
What do you tell young guys like Rasheed and obviously Scott? They had a couple drops in the second half. What do you tell them to sort of get them right for the next game?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna know that I'm gonna keep firing it to them. That's just who I am. I'm gonna keep firing it to the open guy and letting them make plays, and I trust in those guys. It's just we got to continue to get better and better, because as the season goes on, we continue to play good teams, even better teams probably. As the season ends, some of our main, I guess, rivals, you would say, and so we got to be better, because those little things, not just drops, but just little things add up. And the Broncos did a great job of making us be patient. And like I said, they had a great game plan and executed it, and we didn't execute and score any points.
Other than Arrowhead, this is where you've won the most. Just did you take time to reflect on how successful you've been here before, and just how maybe different it was to see obviously the Broncos reaction and some of the fans as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the worst I felt walking out of that stadium. So I mean, it's a great environment. I actually have a lot of fun playing here. The fans are awesome. They enjoy the game. They know the game. But it just kind of is what it is. They beat us. They were the better football team today, and I give them their props.
Talking about that, this is the first time. This is the first time where you've lost in a road game in the AFC West. I mean, you talk about coming out of the field. I mean, is this a new feeling altogether for you?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, like I said, it kind of is what it is. I mean, it's probably going to happen at some point, but we try to do whatever we can to bounce back. That's all you can do. You got to learn from the mistakes that you made this game. Try to be better going into Germany this next week. And kind of get the momentum back in our favor. Obviously, today wasn't our day, but we can continue to get better and better.
Couple more.
Patrick, you've heard what our focus is, but what's your focus going to be for the next couple of days when you back up this?
Yeah, you go back, watch the tape. knowing that teams are going to replicate it and they're going to do their different versions of it and try to find answers for that. That's the biggest thing. I mean, obviously they've seen 2 out of the last 3 weeks the Broncos be able to kind of stifle our offense, if that's the right word, and really just kind of get after us as far as making us execute all the way down the field. And so I'm sure other teams in the league are going to watch that, and we have to prove that we have answers for that, and that'll be something that I'll go back to the film and really try to pay attention to.
Patrick, you guys are out of sync today. It seemed like they just feel that way.
Yeah, we just didn't play good enough. Enough energy for the offense. We didn't hit our shots when they were there, and then when they were there, we didn't execute it there. So it was just a bad day for us. But like I said, all props to them, man. They played their tail off, and they deserve to win today.
How do you make sure that this isn't like a domino effect and keep on?
It won't be.
All right, thank you.